Welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday, which means it's another investment video. It hasn't even been a full week since the last roster update with Season 2 coming out. And so for that reason, it should be a relatively short video, considering we haven't seen, that many games played since, the last roster update, which means we don't have, a lot of data to kind of show, long-term sustainable success from, last roster update to now. So a lot of these that I'm giving out are kind of guys I think for their price are relatively cheap, and I think have either been playing good or I think will be playing even better and will continue to be good. And I think overall they're gonna still go up. And a lot of these guys I have gave out in past videos, but prices have dropped a lot for a lot of these cards. So the first one that I'm giving out is Anthony Volpe. He's relatively expensive, I think, for a silver, but I think for Anthony Volpe being someone that, I've went over it in the past, his defense alone, I think, will get him to a gold for sure whenever they have the first fielding update. I don't know when it will be, but, his 78 fielding, I think, for sure will go up, his 55 arm, and he's been relatively cold, for the last few games, but it's okay. I think he'll get back on track, and his contact's going to go back up, even more. And I think the fact that he didn't go up at all for the last roster update was honestly really confusing to me, as his price was really, really high because I think everybody knew that he was going to be a gold, and he didn't end up turning out to be a gold. So now his price is back at 189, and I think for someone that's 2 overall off of gold, at 189 Stubs, definitely a really good buy. So the first one is Anthony Volpe. I currently have 158 of him, and I'm going to buy obviously a lot more of these guys. I've made a lot of Stubs over the last, roster update and stuff like that, and I have my buy orders on some of these guys, but, I got outbid from the last time I put my buy orders. The next guy we have is, sticking to the relatively cheap theme, Ronel Blanco. He is a bronze, so it's not like you're going out to try to invest in a guy to be a diamond next roster update. But we seen Ronel Blanco. Obviously, he got suspended for the little substance thing that happened, which I'm pretty sure it just turned out to be like sweat in his glove or something, with the rosin or something like that. But yeah, I think with how he's been this season, he has I think like a 2.5 ERA. He's been really good this season. And I think just based off how he's been playing, he will definitely, I think, go up. Obviously, maybe possibly gold. Obviously not diamond for sure. At least definitely not next roster update. But I think he's having too good of a season for him to be, at 69 Stubs, not someone you think about buying here. And I haven't, gave him out before. Obviously, I'm going to be buying more of him, as I think for, the price, it is too good of a price to get him at right now. The next guy we have, which is honestly probably my favorite investment, which is Jarren Duran. Currently he's 105 or 101 Stubs, and I think it's relatively cheap. And I was putting more buy orders on him, and I think my buy orders are currently active still at 85 Stubs, which I was buying him for 80 something Stubs. And this is a guy that I went over in one of my past videos for the defensive, kind of fielding update guys. Jarren Duran, fielding wise, is going to bring him to a gold at least. There's no way he doesn't. This guy is 100% a gold glove candidate. His 63 fielding for sure will have to go up, and he's still batting really good. I could definitely see his power going up a bit, his contacts. He's 10th in the whole MLB for WAR. So, I feel like for a guy that's 10th in the league in WAR, which if you don't know is wins above replacement, basically it's to kind of show, how impactful a guy is for their team winning games. And I feel like a guy that impactful to be a silver doesn't really make sense. And, I know a lot of people try to go into certain statistics and stuff, and obviously I still look at certain statistics, but, the statistics still show that he's really good, but I also think about it in the same way of, if a team is winning games, it's likely that some of their players will have to go up, because it would make no sense that, for example, the Guardians started off at the beginning of the season, a lot of their players were low overalls, and a lot of them are going up because they're winning games, Players are going to go up because of that. They're playing good, all that type of stuff. They're looked at more. And so I think the same thing's going to happen here. You know, the Red Sox were seen as a really, really bad team. He's been one of the most impactful players at helping his team win games defensively. He's a leadoff guy. He's fast. I mean, his speed's already at 91, so it can't get much higher. But I think his contact will go up, his fielding, and that's why he's probably my favorite investment for the price. 100 stubs right now currently to get a guy that I think for sure will be a gold. So yeah. Next we have is Carlos Correa, another guy I kind of went over in past videos. But he's 81 stubs currently, and I feel like at 81 stubs, this is a guy that I would jump on to buy for everything. Literally, his fielding has been way above, a 65 fielding. I think he has literally like the second best fielding percentage at shortstop in the whole MLB. So his fielding percentage clearly shows he's a good fielder. He has the good range. He makes plays that other shortstops can't make. And I think his fielding will go up. So defensively he will go up. He's been hitting the ball really good this season, so I think even his contact could go up, his power. And I think for 81 stubs, this is too low for a guy that I think definitely is a possible gold. We've seen him go down from the last roster update, which honestly I was really confused about. And I've kind of explained in the Season 2 video that I think the roster update was really, really bad. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. They had a lot of people go down that I thought definitely shouldn't have went down. But overall, at the end of the day, Carlos Correa, I think for 81 subs is definitely a really good buy. And so, yeah, he's the next guy. And the rest I will be giving out are pitchers. Aside from the last position player is Corbin Carroll. Now, he's a lot more expensive, obviously, at 259 stubs. But I think this one also has the highest potential out of all the position players to go diamond. Obviously, we've seen what Corbin Carroll could do last year. He was amazing. This year, really, really bad start. And now he's starting to turn it back up again, it looks like. So, obviously, he's the most expensive silver that I gave out. But at the same time, I think it's for a good reason. He has the highest potential, I think, to go, diamond. And I think if he keeps playing how he's been playing the last few games, this is definitely a guy you look at, and it would be good to buy now before he obviously continues to play this way, and his price is going to go a lot higher. So, a lot of people try to give out investments based off what they have been doing. And I feel like, obviously, for a certain extent, I understand that, and that's something that I also put some looking into. But at the same time, I'm also trying to almost predict some guys I think will turn it up, and this is one of them. Corbin Carroll, he will turn it up. He's been turning it up. I think he definitely will start playing better. He will, I think, be a gold by at least next roster update if he keeps playing the way he's playing. And yeah, so I mean, it's relatively kind of expensive, but I think, like I said, has the highest potential to go diamond, and for that reason, could be a guy you look at. The next three guys are all pitchers, and it's all relatively to price. Not saying these guys are the best pitchers in the league, which I feel like some people on these roster update videos, they think when I have these investments, I'm thinking or saying that these are the best guys in the league. Obviously not. It's just for relative to price. These are guys that could definitely go up, and I think it's worth a shot at looking at to buy, as I mainly only do cheap investments, and I have made literally $300K plus every roster update at least, just from guys going to silver to gold mainly. Obviously, I still invest in some guys going to gold to diamond and stuff, but for the most part, it's really just silvers that, I end up, thinking they're going to do good, and they do good. So yeah, next is Eric Fetty, pitcher for the White Sox. Definitely a candidate, I think, to be traded, but that's kind of, not the point. He's currently 113 stubs, and I think that's really cheap for a guy that he's been really good this year. His ERA is a 3.1, and, obviously that's not an insane ERA. At this point in the season, there's definitely a lot lower ERAs, but 3.1 is definitely still an amazing ERA. He's been able to go deep into games. If you look at his Ks per 9 is a 56. He's, I think, definitely going to have that go up. A lot of his overall, all of his per 9s I think will go up, as he's been, I think good in all four of those: home runs, base or walks, Ks, hits. I think all those have the potential to go up, and I think Eric Fedde could definitely go gold for sure. He has a 4-1 record on the season on the worst team in the league. He's been playing amazing. I definitely see him going gold, and especially I think if he gets traded, there's a higher chance he goes gold with him off the White Sox. As obviously, kind of like I was saying, with teams that are playing good, players are going to go up, and with teams that are pretty bad, it obviously doesn't make sense for them to have a whole bunch of golds if they were a really bad team, regardless of how good they're playing. So I think they care also about that at the same time. Meaning, if they're the worst team in the league, the chances Eric Fedde goes up is a little bit lower. But overall, I think he's been really good at 113 stubs right now. I think that's a really good price to go get him at. And I definitely, I already have 100 of him. I'm going to be buying more of him. And I already gave out Tommy Pham in the past video. Hopefully he comes back soon because, he's been pretty decent in the games he's played. And I hope he can, get to gold so I can make my stubs. Anyways, the next one we have is a pitcher for the Pirates who I think, a lot of his stats don't jump out and look super crazy aside from, his ERA and stuff. But if you go on Baseball Savant and stuff, a lot of his stuff doesn't look that crazy. But I think a lot of the reason why he hasn't been talked about this season is because they have Jared Jones and Paul Skeens. So he's kind of, not in the spotlight when it comes to pitchers on this team. But I think he's been really good. He started off the year pretty bad. But since then, he's been a lot better. And, I think that's definitely going to be something that people don't really kind of realize and look at is his start to the season. But Mitch Keller for 150 stubs, I think, is not bad. It was a lot lower also, earlier in the morning, which, if you haven't heard in past videos or anyone else tell you, definitely try to invest in players early in the morning if you can, or late at night. I feel like those are when the prices are always the cheapest. And Mitch Keller is definitely another pitcher that he's close to gold. I think he definitely has the possibility to go gold if he keeps pitching well. And then the last guy we have, at least for right now, obviously, is Logan Webb, another guy that he's been amazing this year. His Ks per 9 is at 55, and I definitely could see it going up as he's in the last few starts. He's definitely been able to K a lot more people. He is playing the Astros today when this video is being made, so it could go down. I think or he could not have a lot of strikeouts this game because the Astros are one of the best teams at not striking out, but at the end of the day, I think his Ks per 9 will go up. I think he definitely will go up to gold. He started off the year as a gold, and he went down, and I think he will go back up to gold because he's been pretty good this year. I think he has like a 2.8 ERA. Nothing really crazy stands out, though, at the same time, which I think is the reason why he hasn't really went up in terms of, if you look at Baseball Savant or anything. His percentiles aren't the craziest. But yeah, I think how he's playing, he definitely could go up to gold. And for 149 stubs, I think is a really good price. So yeah, those are kind of the early kind of looks at some players before, obviously next week is probably more so when we have an accurate kind of look at players of who's going to go up and who's not. And these are kind of predictions for who I think are going to go up and who I think you should buy right now before their prices go up. Starting mainly with, I think, Jarren Duran, wherever he's at. Yeah, Jarren Duran. This is the main guy. Whenever they tell people that they're coming out with a fielding update, be prepared because people are going to be looking for fielders. And they're going to realize that this guy is a gold glove candidate and that his 63 fielding will go up a lot. The move from center field to left field has definitely helped with that. But yeah, so that's kind of quickly, all the guys that we have to start off Season 2. Obviously, like I said, every Wednesday we're having another investment video. So, those are just a few players. We'll obviously go over more next Wednesday. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.